Let's have a little look at it. Very nice looking thing. Very nice. I love that colour. Oh yeah, that traction control, man. Press and hold, tap, tap. Press and hold, off. Press and hold the other one again. And we're back. Oh my god, that's bloody annoying. Anyway. But it'll do this stuff very happily. Not a problem at all. Better than what I thought it would be, really, for a bike that's so good on the road. Alrighty, there we are folks, the new Honda Transalp. Just gonna have a bit of a fang around today, show you what. Oh yeah, that traction control, man. We'll come back to that, and when I do the next stop I'll turn it off, and hopefully you would have heard why then. Shares the same engine as the Hornet. Lovely little 755cc parallel twin. Makes good power, about 90 horsepower. So punches above its weight a little bit in terms of, you know, the rest of the class. Comfortably outshades you know, the Tenere 700, the Aprilia Touareg. More power but not more torque than Suzuki's V-Strom 800, but it's noticeably lighter than the V-Strom. It feels really nimble, feels good. Full 21-inch front wheel, big holes here if I remember rightly. Yeah, not too bad. Hear that traction control. Oh yeah. Yeah, full 21-inch. Handles really nicely, especially on the road. Sealed stuff. It's really, 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 really nimble. Really well balanced, well handled. Yeah, they've done well there. It's a little bit, reminds me a little bit of the Ducati Desert X in that sense. Far better bike on the road than you think it will be. Great size, great ergos, really good finish as you would expect. Oh man, that traction control, I really need to turn that off. Alright, let's talk about that traction control. It cuts in really early and really abruptly, and frankly this would be a better bike if it didn't have traction control. Now you can turn it off, of course you can, but turning it off is in fact, let's pull over and do that now. Turning it off is an exercise in frustration in itself. Press and hold, tap, tap. Press and hold, off. Press and hold the other one again. Now we're back. Oh my god, that's bloody annoying. Anyway, and you got to do that every single time you turn the key off and back on again, because there it is, it's off right now. Turn the key off. Turn it back on. Does this little warm-up routine. Oh look, traction control's back on again. How cool's that? So now you've got to go and do all that again. Let's have a little look at it. Very nice looking thing. Very nice. I love that colour. Love that colour scheme. I prefer that to the white. I might be in the minority there. That's okay. Comes with the Karoo tyres, as standard as you can see, so they're not super aggressive. Bit of organic material in there. Very aggressive pricing for a good looking thing, and really a nice thing on the road. Screen works well. It's not adjustable, but good shape, good optics through there, and mostly you can get down and clean in there, which is always a bugbear for me. Bar position's nice and high. Ergos are great. Seat's a little firmer than I thought it would be, but it seems okay. Like I've done 4 or 5 200 plus kilometre days without a problem. So yeah, let's get moving again. So I've got it at the moment in full power. Well, that's surprisingly the lowest engine braking setting. Very confusing. That whole dash does not do wonders for me. But let's get on the move down here. And oh yeah, we've definitely got that traction control turned off. So this is, you know, you don't want to be pushing it much harder than this. I reckon for most people you'd probably put this in the same bucket as like the GS 1250 in terms of what you're likely to actually be having a crack on or not. I think of it more like something that you wouldn't go anything much harder than you'd take your Subaru. And oddly enough, I have taken my Subaru up this trail. Oh yeah, see, it's not bottoming out, but I'm not going real quick either. Yeah, that surprised me actually that it's okay. That bottomed out, but that was kind of me being a bit deliberate. So, you know, it is what it is. It's not a full-on adventure tour, adventure off-road kind of forest trail, fire trail kind of a deal. If you want that, it could be a base, but you'd need to do some work on the suspension. And what have we got there? Someone's hat. You know, yeah, you'd need to do some work on it to make it, to turn it into that. Would you do that, or would you just opt for the Africa Twin? I would think. Oh wow, that was must have hit a rock then. I would think you'd probably just opt for the Africa Twin if you were more up for that. But it'll do this stuff very happily. Not a problem at all. So if this is you, you know, and this is the extent of how hard you want to throw it, this is a very good option for you. So I'm not going to go up the hard one today. Hey boys, we'll go left. So the rev's out nicely. So that was $6,000 out of a 10,000 red line. And yeah, quite nicely balanced on the back wheel too, when you get it right. I didn't get it right back there. I wasn't actually really trying. That traction control operation frustrates the bejesus out of me. Just put a button there. A button there. Traction control on, traction control off, and I would be a happier camper. But no, she moves along quite nicely and tips in far better than, you know, you would imagine a 208 kilo, I think it is, should have any right to do. Really quite nice. Yeah, I quite like it. I can see plenty of folks leaning towards this sort of a thing rather than something like a Tenere, which is much more aimed at your off-road. You know, you're making a really good platform for off-road and going nuts. So they've been a bit clever in that regard. They haven't made a direct competitor. They've kind of tried to carve out their own niche. So while that is, I think, quite smart and will suit a lot of people, I also have no doubt that there's a bunch of people like myself who were kind of hoping that it was going to be a little bit more off-road, yeah, biased. So and something about Subarus earlier. Well, there's one. And we're up the trail. Giddy up. a bad, and we've just adjusted the suspension a little bit more, firmed it up even more than it was before, and it's actually feeling noticeably better. I'm getting a bit more confidence in it now, even in this, turn this around, even in this sort of condition. We're in between showers down here, but I'm gonna have another crack up this run. I'll put it on leave it on my chest. So yeah, I won't be commentating through this bit, but I've gone full hard on the rear shock and only sort of, what have I gone through? I think 3.5 turns from full hard on the forks. So we're pretty close to maxing it out, but yeah, noticeably better, noticeably more planted, better control, and even more grip. So we'll see how we go up here. Let's have some fun and find out, eh? All right, let's see how we go up here. Definitely better, but that's about as hard as I'd want to go on it, especially on those tyres today. Yeah, you could, that front was starting to get a little bit lively, and a couple of times you could feel it starting to plough a little bit, but that was more fun through there than I thought it would be on this thing. For a bike that's so good on the road and is quite soft from the factory. Yeah, as I said, I've got it full hard on the rear and only I think 3.5 or thereabouts from full hard on the front now. I reckon that's getting pretty close to Goldilocks. I think that's, yeah, that's not bad. It's way better than what it was. I think I had it at 5. About 5 from full out on the front earlier. It just wasn't quite getting that feel from the front, but that's pretty good now. Pretty good fun. So let's wrap it up there. So there you have it, folks. Honda's new Transalp, which I think is probably top of the pops when it comes to your road-oriented 600 to 800cc adventure bikes. You go anywhere on the road, gravel roads, tarmac roads, sandy roads. This will cross the desert pretty happily, I think. This will make a lot of people very happy. Yeah, it's been 10 odd years since the Transalp was last available, that last model. Feels a bit longer than that, but there you go, only 10 years. But it's back, baby, and I think they've done a good job. Yep, it's not perfect. Those electronic things are not quite right. The traction control and the lack of a cruise control as even an option. Yeah, are failings in my opinion, but this is still a great option. 16 grand on the road for this bike. That's a bargain. That is a bargain. So yeah, get out and get a test ride if you can. Get amongst it. Hope you're enjoying yourselves out there. How good motorbikes. press and hold, I think it's to the right. There you go, you can go into here. So that's one button press, riding mode, let's go in there. That's 2 button presses, 3 button presses to go into riding mode, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Traction control is now off. That was easy, wasn't it? And if I go press and hold to the left, back out. Okay, so that was 11 button presses to do it that way. Brilliant.